Right now at 6, tributes to a fallen trooper.
We appreciate everything him and his brother both done, and I hate it for his brother, and just hang in there, buddy. It'll get better.
The big turnout from fellow officers and the community to honor Trooper John Horton.
Trooper Horton died Monday during a traffic stop where he and a motorcyclist were accidentally hit and killed by another responding trooper who was Trooper Horton's brother. Today's observances began with a long procession to escort Trooper Horton's body to Isothermal Community College in Spindale. Dozens of police cars and motorcycles took part. After this afternoon's visitation, he was escorted around the Isothermal campus before the funeral service.
And that funeral service is going on right now.
News 13's Kimberly King joins us live from Isothermal Community College. And Kim, Trooper John Horton was a well-known and loved father of 6.
Holly, that is everything that we have been hearing today. And a fellow trooper told me that John Horton had a nickname. He was known as the unofficial mayor of the community. That was just the kind of man I'm told that he was. And just an hour ago, a very moving and symbolic moment here on this campus. North Carolina Highway Patrol's Caisson unit, which uses a horse-drawn cart with historic references well known to carry the fallen from battlefield, was used to transport this beloved father, brother, husband, and state trooper.
People tend to say good things in bad situations, but people haven't had to search to find good things to say about John. Makes this week that much harder to hear what a role model he was for kids and just a devoted husband and family member.
Along the procession, first the hearse carrying Highway Patrol Trooper John S. Horton, who'd served 15 years on the force. Highway Patrol motorcycles riding in formation, patrol cars following, lights only, no sirens, that continued to pour into Isothermal Community College's campus. People standing to watch to honor the 42-year-old while also sharing support for Trooper James Nick Horton, 36, John's younger brother.
Everyone was saying, please tell me this is not true.
I started finding out pretty early that it was one of the Horton brothers because, you know, there were 3 of them that were highway patrolmen at one point. So it was just hard to comprehend what was going on. And then when I started hearing his brother was en route to back him up, it was hard to even talk.
Monday night, Trooper Horton made a traffic stop of motorcyclist Dusty Beck and then called for backup. His brother responding, but losing control of his vehicle, crashing into the scene. First Sergeant Chris Knox sharing how close the two were.
It's a bond so strong between the brothers. They sought out being able to work together, and their off time was together. The stories of them hunting together and fishing together and playing video games together.
The motorcyclist stopped was also killed.
We understand it's not just our members that were involved in this. So, we owe everybody involved in this the very best of what we can bring to the table from an investigative standpoint.
We appreciate everything him and his brother both done, and I hate it for his brother, and just hang in there, buddy. It'll get better. It'll get better.
More than 500 people we have seen showing up throughout the day today. And of course, we will have continuing coverage as the service for Trooper Horton continues tonight.
Now back here in the mountains, parents in Transylvania County are pushing back on current mask policies in schools. They've started a petition calling for the Board of Education to take immediate action. News 13's Andrew James has more on their concerns.
We just want kids to be in school, for everyone to be safe, so they can learn and we can get through this year.
Andrea Kabilas is one of the 270-plus parents to sign an online petition started by the Transylvania County Parent and Community Alliance. The petition calls for an emergency meeting by the Transylvania County Board of Education to address the increase in COVID-19 cases.
If masks go on, we can get through the surge and we can get through the school year without massive loss of learning.
Parents tell me as cases increase, more students are in quarantine and they worry about the long-term impacts.
One of our biggest issues is if the numbers keep climbing, they're going to shut schools down and everything's going to go to online.
Nicole Ramirez and Kyle White also signed the online petition, saying they think mandating masks in schools is the best option.
You know, when masks are on, the numbers are lower, things work. You take them off, the numbers climb. And, it's very concerning.
In a statement, Transylvania County School Superintendent Dr. Jeff McDarris says in part, quote, "The school board has been working very hard to follow the legal mandates and requirements as specified by the governor's office, NCDHHS, our local health department, and the North Carolina General Assembly. We are constantly working diligently to make all of our facilities safe and clean and provide the very best learning possible. We continue to operate under the law as we have throughout this challenging pandemic."
Meanwhile, tonight, the Democratic candidates for North Carolina's District 14 participated in the online forum. News 13's Hannah McKenzie has more on their hopes to secure support ahead of this year's election.
Kristen, the forum lasted close to 2.5 hours. Despite audio interruptions and connectivity issues, all 5 candidates stayed the course, arguing their points and hoping to garner support.
Well, it seems like we're having a little bit of sound issue.
Numerous technical glitches didn't stop NC District 14 Democratic congressional candidates from speaking out Saturday. Bo Hess, Katie Dean, Eric Gash, Jay Carey, and Jasmine Beach Ferrara.
Can you all hear me?
Who joined remotely, all participating in this online forum held by the North Carolina District 11 Democratic Party. Affordable housing, education, and environmental issues, some of the subjects up for discussion. One of the timeliest topics, though, Medicaid expansion and healthcare coverage concerns.
How do you propose to address this issue at the federal level?
First and foremost, start building up the infrastructure for the healthcare so that when we do pass a healthcare for all bill, we have the nurses, the doctors, the physicians, the pharmacists, the social workers, the techs, the radiologists, all of the infrastructure that we need to actually provide that healthcare.
We can lower the qualifying age for Medicare, shore up the coverage gaps with the ACA, and expand Medicaid. That's the low-hanging fruit, the bare minimum. Lower pharmaceutical drug costs, and really address the for-profit greed that we have in our healthcare industry.
Look at getting these prescription drug costs and prices that are skyrocketing, getting them under control, and allowing Medicare to negotiate those prices for our folks and put a cap on insulin. An illness or sickness should not bankrupt a family.
I believe in a federally funded public option which will bridge the gap to Medicare for all. I believe that that option will cover health, mental health, hearing, eyesight, and drugs. It will be all encompassing. This plan rolled out by region will allow people to have insurance. If you are at or below the poverty level, plus 10,000 roughly, it doesn't cost you a dime.
The federal government has some critical, urgent steps that we need to take, and I will fight for these the moment I get to DC. That includes ensuring that Medicare can negotiate prescription drug costs so that families are not having to make excruciating and impossible decisions about whether to fill prescriptions or buy groceries. It means expanding Medicare to include dental, vision, and health. And it means creating a public option and continuing to increase access and build a strong health system so that everyone has the care that they need and the access that they need.
If you'd like to watch the entire forum, we have a link at WLOS.com. And another discussion panel for these same candidates is scheduled, but that's going to be closer to the May 17th primary election.